Hello, you beautiful people, past, present, and yes, for those in the future. Welcome back to another stream. What are we doing today? Well, I asked you guys both in my Discord and in the YouTube community tab about what kind of stream you want to see. I offered the suggestion that, hey, why don't I go ahead and just stream my ttrpg creation and just kind of like work on this system with you guys. And honestly, this is going to be more of a relaxing stream. What we're going to be doing, I've already done the monster manual, but however I am converted it to the 2.0 version, meaning that some elements need to be plugged in, some elements need to be added, and let me just go ahead and show you what we are going to do here. Well, first and foremost, we are going to, be working on things such as, just kind of like the family, the level, the stats, and there's a couple additional things that I want to share. First and foremost, being a big one being the features. Now, before in the original version, I don't want to say original version, but the 1.0 version, it was just like the bare bones, what you need for enemies and TTRPGs. Stats, that sort of thing. I didn't even have movement, which it kind of boggles my mind that I did not have movement within this TTRPG. But, we have added that as well. And it all used to be like one singular page too. So like everything you see here was just maybe a fraction of what it was supposed to be. So instead of doing one page per enemy, I've decided to expand upon it to 2 pages. So in this screen, we've got ourselves, the actual stats. Now, how this works is that when it comes to enemies, much like the players, they roll a certain die. In this case, with the goblin mage, they roll a d8, and whatever they roll, as long as they don't roll a 1, they'll be able to cast one of these spells, such as Gone Bog, which deals earth damage, or being able to buff themselves, or an ally. And it's going to be organized in this manner. Now, I'm not sure how it's going to work with enemy levels higher than that, and when they start getting to like the D9 and D10, so I might have to figure that out. But another thing that I've been implementing with this is that I've also been adding what is called the Mimic Notes. Now, in my TTRPG, there is a class called the Mirror Mimic, which he goes around, travels the world, documents these monsters, and even makes notes of it in, like this section here. Anytime I see movement as a stat, I immediately think Fire Emblem. In a way, it's very similar to that. So, Jay, I don't know how familiar you are with TTRPGs, but for the most part, things like Dungeons and Dragons involve some kind of movement speed. And it is very similar to Fire Emblem, where you kind of like take a unit, you move them, and then you do your thing. Or like in some cases, you might want to do your thing and then move, depending on like what you actually have and what's available to you at the time. And so, yeah, for whatever reason, I just did not add movement in the 0.1, not even 0.1, but even in the 1.0 version of this. So we're going to go ahead and, we've already got a new blank page here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and copy the next enemy that I have through here. Just got to find it first. So we're at the Goblin Mage. Alright, so, hey, this is going to be fun. We are actually going to be, working on a boss this time, the Guguron. I think he is a special encounter in the GU games, as he is, like a quest only, but we've made him into an actual field boss. So, go ahead and do this. There we go. Great. As you probably can't see it on here, but on the left-hand side, there's also a table of contents. So that way you'll be able to, quickly point out, say, if I wanted to go to Onion Mash, I could just go ahead and click Onion Mash, and I'm right there. Or maybe I want to find Ravenclaw. It's right there, the PNGs themselves probably would have that feature. I don't know. I haven't really seen too much of the PNG version of this, but also, before I forget, even if it does not, we have table of contents here. So if you're looking for a certain one, all you gotta do is, look up the page and the enemy, and it's right there. For whatever reason, the table of contents I had was just so terrible. I don't want to say terrible. It just did not look good at all. So we are just going to be like copy and pasting most of this here, but we're also going to be asking you guys to help contribute with this project. So here's what I want you to do. As we're making these enemies, we are going to be, I'm going to be asking you guys to help me figure out features for some of these enemies, you know, since these higher level enemies are going to have like features and everything, as well as a mimic notes. Tell me what you think the mimic is going to say about these monsters, and I'll also show the monsters as we're editing them as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, copy, you know, just that way we paste in the format and everything. Da-da-da. Alright, so let's get rid of that. Alright, so now we need the monster. Let me see, go ahead, image, upload to my computer. Where's my document? Let's see, here we go. Enemies. And by the way, guys, I took, like, all these enemies that you're going to be seeing here tonight, I went into .hack.gu and took these pictures myself. I essentially played Pokemon Snap with the monsters in GU. So, some of them look really great, some of them, I could probably go back in, try to, oh, wait a minute, wrong one. I could probably just go back and try it again. Where is the Gogoron? There it is. Ah, I hate that. Okay, I'm gonna have to edit that a bit. Because some of these images, for whatever reason, I did not save as PNGs. So I'm gonna have to quickly go and change it. That's what I call a dedication right there. Oh, absolutely, Jay. I think with all of the documents so far, I think we're a little over 350 pages. Give or take. I'm not entirely too sure of the page count, especially with the new updated versions of everything, but let's see, where is it? Transparency. Yeah, I'm not sure of like the actual total, you know, count, but I know it's close to like a few hundred. And you guys can't see this currently, but I'm trying to get rid of like the white border around the thing and just making things transparent for this. You'll probably end up seeing me like just go through everything. Just you won't be able to see like this part with me cropping out things, but let me see. Okay, no, I don't want to create a template. I want to save. Export as. There we go. And we are going to go ahead and call this PNG. Because we gotta save these as PNGs, otherwise the transparency is not going to work. Alright, let's try it again. Let's see. Here we go. Gogoron. Let's see, which one is the... Let's give it the JPEG version, and then insert that into here. He's not supposed to be that small. I don't know what, like, I don't know why they're so small. Okay, hang on. Let's fix the position. There we go. We gotta increase the size of this boy. There we go. Look at him. Look at this guy. Alright. So let's move him over this way. And then, kind of can't see it because I got my phone here. I can't really do my normal app that allows me to see both streams for this. I have to resort to using my phones to show the chat on both ends. So, kind of works, kind of doesn't. Alright, so now we got ourselves the Gogoron. Alright, so let me see what he is. So he is a level 3, he's a large enemy. So, large enemy that gives 235 GP and 200 experience. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I might have to move him down a bit so that way I can get to it. Not size and rotation, position. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to have to move him down and out of the way real quick so that way. There we go. Alright, so he is a large enemy. So, what I've been doing with these monsters, like, initially, I didn't give that much money. Experience is going to stay the same, but initially, it's just, like, bits and pieces, which, in hindsight, I probably can just get away with doubling these, and it won't change too much. So, instead of 235 GP, this enemy is going to go ahead and give 470 GP and 200 experience. 430. 470 GP, and I think I said, yep, 200 experience. There we go. 200 experience. And since this is a boss monster, he's going to have some pretty big stats. 1357 HP and 255 SP. Let's see. 1357, as well as, I think that was 255. 255. All right. So now for his actual like attack and defense stats. So 825, 625. Okay. Not bulky defensively, but he hits like a truck. And how damage works into this is that for basic attacks, you just roll your die, which we discussed before, and then multiply that by your strength or magic, depending on what you use. In this case, he is mostly focused on strength, so he's going to be doing 8 times whatever the results are. And depending on his skills, it gets a lot more hefty in terms of like damage-wise. 25. I don't think he has an element. Oh, he's actually a fire elemental. Okay. I forgot I made him fire. So, we're going to make him fire. Since he's a bigger guy and very bulky, I'm going to go ahead and put his speed to 3. Large creatures typically, like I said typically, now, typically are like slower with some exceptions, like some avian bosses and whatnot. But even then, you know, 3 movement, very respectable. And now we need a feature. But let's go ahead and put him back. Da-da-da. Nope, wrong way, wrong way. Alright, so what feature should we give this guy? This is a boss monster here. This is the guy that is going to be testing level 3 parties. And so I'm thinking, like, with his ton, like, his ton is going to be very brutal. It's going to hit hard. And, like, as the name implies for this, it is said that he has eaten so many monsters that they have developed immense strength. As a result, its tongue can no longer fit in its mouth and frequently uses it to smash its foes. So, what kind of feature should we add for this enemy that would emphasize his, you know, ever-growing presence? Should we create a feature that will allow him to gain extra attack, you know, or perhaps maybe even gain more durability? Like, what do you guys think? While you guys are thinking about that, I'm going to get the next section prepped and ready, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, think of a feature while we're doing this, and I am keeping in mind the delay on YouTube as well. So, we're going to go ahead and do that, and then page break. There we go. Copy and paste this, so that way we'll have it. Maybe you should have an attack that debuffs your stats. Not greatly, but just enough to keep you on your toes. That is quite the idea. That is a pretty good idea, because in a way, this guy is probably going to break through your defenses. So maybe, let's see, with this. Let's see. Maybe we'll call this Crushing Blow. When this enemy, it's with one of its skills. Let's see, do I have spells with him? I don't know if this guy can cast spells too. No, just Ton Smash and Knockdown. Okay. With one of its skills. Let's say that he, like, using your suggestion, NeoJ, what if, like, they have lower defenses, like, they take, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 more damage, or perhaps, Let's see, when this enemy hits with one of its skills, let's see, that target loses, let's say, so he is a level 3 monster. If we multiply, I think what I'm going to be doing with these features is that I'm going to be, like, if it causes a debuff, it will be, like, 5 times whatever the level is of the creature. In this case, it will be, this is level 3 monster, so let's just say 15, like, physical defense. Physical defense until the end of their next turn. Let's see, no, maybe not until the end of the next turn. And let's see. For 2 turns. For 2 turns. That way the Gogoron can benefit from the, lower defenses of the party. So I like this. Let me go ahead and just, beans. Okay, maybe turns. Okay, I'm gonna have to shrink that down just a little bit. Note to self, let's see, we'll position this right there. There we go. Alright, so we got our Crushing Blow feature. When this enemy hits with one of its skills, that target loses 15 defense for 2 turns. Okay, a pretty simple effect, but it can be very brutal, very brutal, so parties will need to be careful about going into melee with this thing, because this will crush. This will crush you. And as for his skills, I do have them here. I just need to... So we have Ton Smash and Knockback. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the Ton Smash. So, D3. So Ton Smash. Please without formatting. Ton Smash. It is 30 SP. 30 SP. And it's let's see, Ton Smash. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Copy and paste it like so. Alright. Every enemy's within 2 cells of the target takes 2d8 times physical attack damage. So remember how we said that, Gogoron's physical attack is going to be what's it called? 8. So it would be on average this will be 5 times 8. So that's 40 damage towards everyone within 2 cells. Not too bad. I mean, it probably won't do too much damage initially. However, actually, now that I think about it, because on average, this would be... Oh, no, excuse me. I'm thinking wrong. So on average, it is 5 for a d8. So 10 times... Okay, so 80 damage. Okay, yeah, not too bad. Not too problem. Hey, Titan, you have watched 10 consecutive streams. Oh my goodness. No problem. This is amazing. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate you, buddy. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Alright. So, honestly, on average, this ability is going to be doing about 80 damage. And with the debuff, it will probably end up doing a lot more. So, why don't we go ahead and also get rid of the D2. Because he has no skill for D2. Because for these early level enemies, they're not going to be having a full stack of skills on their repertoire. Alright, so now we need Ton Smash to be on D5 as well. Let's see, D5, there we go. Paste, there we go. It's also... Let's get rid of Vakdon. There we go. Alright, so the next ability is Knockback. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, Knockback. So Knockback is 7 and 8. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, paste. Oh, nope. There we go, Knockback. Knockback requires 45 SP. Alright, 45. Knockback. All enemies with one cell of itself take 38 times physical attack and are pushed 2 cells away. Okay. That sounds like a pretty beefy ability. So let's see here. Let's see, pace without formatting. All enemies take 38 and are pushed away. And are pushed. Let me just go ahead and are pushed 2 cells away. There we go. I think it's also very... I really hate how this heart is there. Nope, nope. Let's see. I also think a very good way... I think a very good way to introduce the players to enemies will combo their own skills. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like, the way this system is set up, it is pretty fast. Pretty much, the party members go first, and they roll their die. So they can either do a basic attack, or a skill if they have it on a certain result. For instance, say I have Gale Blade set on a 2, and I rolled a 2. I can choose to activate Gale Blade, which deals, I think, like 3d6 times physical attack damage. It's kind of like that, give or take. It's pretty fast. Or you could use your skill trigger, which is just kind of like a... You don't have to roll for it, but you won't get a crit and you won't get a miss, which it's kind of a, you know, if you need to land a hit, skill trigger will guarantee the hit, but you won't benefit from a crit. So that's the only drawback. So, let me see. Let's go ahead and put this into number 8. Oh. There we go. Number 8. Whoa, okay, round one. I'm supposed to do it with formatting. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and move this over front and center. Here we go, maybe just a little bit that way. There we go. And now for the Mimic's Notes. Now, what are we going to do about this guy? Let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. If you were the Mirror Mimic, and you were trying to write something about this enemy, what would you think this enemy could do? Like, what would your opinions on this enemy be if you saw him in the wild? Like, how would you react to seeing this guy? I mean, you can go ahead and recommend something serious, or you can recommend a joke. You know, just these are the opinions of the Mirror Mimic. Like, the adventurer seeing this for the first time. Like, for me, I think this guy is just ugly. Just look, I can't tell if the 2 silver dots on his head are his eyes or his nose. It is really hard to tell. And it's just kind of like, it just looks nasty. It kind of reminds me of Lickitung in a way. So, why don't we go ahead and make mention of that? Oh, but first I need to get the items here. So, go ahead and think about that, guys, while we're getting the items here. So, he's going to be dropping Revival Medicine. Let's see. The rare drop is going to be the Augment Devour. Alright. There we go. About format. Then the equipment that he's also going to drop is a Broad Maiden, which is a great sword. There you go. Nope, nope. Let me see. Let me just move this over just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. There we go. A large, heartless beast that has no hesitation to take down anything that gets in his way while wearing a very deceiving, smiling face. Oh, I love that. Hang on, but let's go ahead and write that down. So, a large and heartless beast. Beast? Yeah, I'm you know what? I'm gonna put a question mark there because he even doesn't know what this creature is. That has no hesitation to take down anything that... It's kind of hard to see because... hang on, maybe I can do this. Ha ha ha, there we go. Oops, my filter almost. I'm gonna do that. So that way I can read chat a lot better. There we go. Let's see here. That stands in its way while wearing a very deceiving smile. Here you go. There you go, stand in its way. Okay, it fixed it automatically. Let's see. A very deceiving... Deceiving... Myelin face. There we go. Stand in its way. That stands that stands in its way. Here we go. That stands in its way. There we go. I'm also going to add that. Like, I'm also going to add a little note on the bottom here that says, Birth is absolutely. Let's see, absolutely horrendous. His birth is absolutely horrendous. Ugh. Almost. Made me lose my lunch. Alright, we got the Mimic's notes for that. Now let's go ahead and get with the next monster. Let's see, what's the next monster going to be? The next monster is the Holy Eater. Like, this is one of the enemies that you guys chose in the poll I had earlier in the week. Which, by the way, there's going to be another poll. The second set of polls for the regen game are going to be out here real soon. Maybe not tonight, but real soon. The Holy Eater is the next big one. Holy Eater. Is he level 4 or is he level... Yeah, that's our first level 4. Alright, so let me go ahead and do this. The level 4. Get that header. There we go. And then heading 3. There we go. Holy Eater. Holy Eaters are monsters with rings behind... Oh, hang on. Why isn't it showing... I am so sorry, guys. I didn't realize that's the thing. I didn't realize that the visuals were cockeyed. Give me 1 second. Because I fixed this before, but I guess they just kind of messed up a bit. Hang on. Let me fix that. There we go. Because we want the whole thing. I don't know why it ended up doing it that way. We're just gonna move this a little bit. There we go. So that way you can see everything. Man, how long was that a problem? There we go. Maybe. Let's get a little bit of... let's make that 700. There we go. There we go. Now you should be able to see everything better. There we go. Hang on. I think that's why. Yeah, hang on. That's why I had the image up. I had the image editing up. Where is the transform? Let's do that again. Let's put that at 500. There we go. You know, while we do it, let's just kind of fix the whole thing. Let me see. There we go. So that way we could just do that. And there we go. A lot better. A lot better. Alright. Anyway, Holy Eater. Let's get that Holy Eater. First, let's go ahead and copy and paste. You know, this. We don't need the Holy Eater. We don't need the Gogoron, I mean. Let's get rid of him. Alright, so the Holy Eater, he is level 4 large and 150 GP. Level 4 large and 150 GP, so we'll make that 300 GP. The experience is 35. I mean, he might be large, but he is in fact, you know, just a normal enemy that roams. 861 HP and then 69 SP. Alright, so 861, 69. There you go. 861. 69. Alright, and his stats are 8, 30, 7, 30. Let's see. 8, 30, 7, 30. And he is light, a light element. We're going to increase his movement speed just a little bit more. But otherwise, I think that is fine. I think the only thing that we should have is... I think what I forgot to do is that... I forgot to add the ref spell to his skill list. However, we can make that a feature. So when... Let's see. Cleansing light. When this creature's HP... When this creature's HP is 50%. Special characters. Symbols. Let's see. Less than or equal to. There we go. Hmm. Hmm. 50% HP. When hang on, maybe percent. This creature gains the ref. I forgot how to spell ref. That's definitely not how to do it. How the fuck how do you spell ref? You know, give me 1 second. Need to figure out how to... I think it's... You know... Yeah, that's not it. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm gonna look up this spell. I don't think this is the right spelling for ref. Let's see. R-E-P-T-H. Oh, okay. R-E-P-T-H, not H. I knew that looked a little bit off. T-H. There we go. We got it now. Alright. It gains the breath that it could use. That it can use as a skill trigger. Alright. Ref. Use one target for 100 HP. It heals 100 HP to one target. There we go. So now he has the feature of cleansing light. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's insert the image. So now we need the Holy Eater. Holy Eater. Yeah, that did work. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix the Holy Eater. Alright. Holy Eater, here we go. Let's go ahead and fix this boy. Yeah, transparency. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this image so that way it's transparent. There we go. Because a lot of these features, I want them to act as if, like, the same as they would inside of GU. Like, I remember, like, even just recently, fighting the Holy Eaters, and when their HP got low enough, they ended up starting to cast Ref. So we're going to go ahead and do this as a PNG. Alright, now we'll try it again. Alright, let's get rid of the JPEG. And now for this guy, that guy. Let's see. We're gonna go behind the text, fixed position. Let's go ahead and shrink them down a little bit. Then move them over here. I probably will need to shrink them just a little bit more. Or maybe I can do this. How does that look? Maybe I just shrink it just a little bit. Just a little bit more. And then move them down. Maybe a pixel. There you go. How's that? That looks good. Alright, so he's light elements. Just making sure I got everything fixed up. Alright. So now let's go ahead and get with the skills that he has. Let's just do what we did before. Copy and paste. Insert page break. There we go. Alright, while I'm fixing this up, what do you think that this description, what would the mirror mimic say about the Holy Eater here? What would he say about this guy? Like, what do you think he's annoying? Does he think that, again, what is with these creatures with these overly large smiles? Or just, it just looks so unsettling here. I mean, I don't even know why I have this on. I'm not even listening to anything. Alright. So let's go ahead and get his skills up. So he has energy ring, charge. Yeah, energy ring and charge. So let's go ahead and get energy ring. Is it the first mention of that? There you go. So that is a 2. So I need to go here. Alright, energy ring costs 15 SP. Come on. 15 SP. And then the ability in question. It's single target. Alright, and it deals magic damage. Ooh, magic damage. There you go. I'm just going to make sure it's consistent with how I've been doing with the others. Single target magical attack. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have to type it that way. Let's see. Single target magical attack. 38 times magic attack damage. Pretty simple enough. Holy Devourer is a fitting name for a contradiction. I meant to say Holy Eater. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it is definitely. It's very contradictory. It is a holy enemy. It is a light-based enemy, so it eats other light enemies. I mean, apparently. Alright, so Energy Rain is also on D7. So let's go ahead and copy that. Let's see, D7. Here we go. Alright, so there are no skills on 3, 6, and 8. Alright, so let's go ahead and get none for 3, 6, and 8. Let's see. 3, 6, and 8. Alright. Now, the only other skill that he has is charge, which I think we ended up doing charge before. Charge. Yeah, we do. Let's see, it was this guy right here. So let's go ahead and copy and paste this. Go back to Holy Eater. So charge is... Let's see, on 4 and 5. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. So, charge is on 4. Paste. And 5. Paste. There we go. And then now let's go ahead and move this front and center. There we go. Alright, so what items does he drop? He ends up dropping the shallow wit accessory as well as the spin piney equipment. So let's see here. So do that. Copy other. And then paste. Paste without formatting. Alright, now the other thing that he has is the spin piney. So let's go ahead and do that. The twin blade weapon. Oh, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, come on, stop it, stop it, stop it. Alright, paste without formatting. Gold blade. Gold blade. Spin piney. There we go. Now what are we going to describe? How are we going to describe this guy? You know what? I think I'll take what you said, NeoJ, and maybe add that as well. Let's see. Holy Eater is a fitting name for a contradiction. There's a fitting name for a contradiction. A light enemy that eats other light enemies. Funny enough. Light enemy that eats other enemies. Let me see. Go back to the description. I am curious as to whether or not these creatures can see. They have no eyes, but somehow they always know where an adventure is. Perhaps it is some kind of a divination? There we go. Perhaps it's some kind of divination. Alright, next enemy. What do we got? Kiki Dada. We got another bird. We got the bird. Oh, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. Bird's a bird. I apply that. Now we need to get the stats of a bird, so that way we'll have... hang on. I almost forgot to change the... He's not an ogre, I don't think. He is a demon. Okay. That would have been bad. That would have been really bad. He is a demon. There we go. Oh, baby bunny's hurt. Oh, now I got serpent bird in my mind. Bird. Bird's the word. Let me see. I need to find a flying enemy that we've done. Let's see. Truffle. Carry on. That's not. Is it flying? No, he's not flying. Funny enough. Okay, here we go. We can use this. There we go. We'll do this. Paste. Get rid of that. So, avian, level 4. He is small. He is indeed flying. The cheeky Dada. Let's see. So 240 GP and 35 experience. So 240 GP. Did I say 35? Yeah, 35. 35 experience. Alright, the Chicky Dada has 585 HP, 250 flight, and 50 SP. So 589. Oop. Wouldn't knock that over. Let's see. 589. 50 SP, and his flight armor is 250. So meaning that they would need to do 250 damage to its flight armor in order to actually damage it. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. D8? Yeah, D8. Just had to be sure about that. I changed that to a D8. So the Chicky Dada stats are 720, 720, or no, 720, 735. Alright, so not too bad. 7, 20, 7, 35. Imagine wind element. You have wind elements. Let's see. Movement. I'm gonna make this guy just a little bit faster. But the Chicky Dadas are a little bit more, even though they're still inside their eggs, they're fully grown. Wait a minute, did I just put a 3 instead of a small? I just realized I put 3 instead of a small. Let's see. Small, there we go, I don't know. Now I need to go back and double check to make sure I didn't put a 3 on the spearfish. Not spearfish. There we go, yeah. I didn't mess up. Okay, good. Good. Okay, we get rid of that. I need to remember to close out of that so you guys can see the full thing. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get that image. Image upload. Chicky. Is that a PNG? No, that didn't. It's always a JPEG. Curse myself for not putting these as PNGs and just, yeah. Hindsight 2020. I figured, oh hey, I could save a lot of time by just, just getting rid of the background. I don't need to make them transparent. Turns out, a couple years later, I end up doing just that. It's okay though. It's okay. We'll just go ahead and remove the background from the Chicky Dada. Everything will be fine. Everything will be okay. Everything will be dandy. There we go. Got that. Let's see, go ahead and round that out. There we go. Gonna get that. Alright, now let's go ahead and export that as a PNG. There we go. Alright, now let's go ahead and get that picture there. That's JPEG, we don't want that. There we go. You want PNG. Keep forgetting to do that. Keep forgetting to do that. Alright. Whew. Okay, fixed position. I don't think we're going to have an ability or a feature for the Chicky Dada, because they don't really have too many abilities that make them stand out as, I guess you could say, unique enemies. So, oh, there we go. There we go. Look at him. He's got a nice little mustache. He's got himself a little mustache. Let me close out of that. Alright, now we need the stats. Or the skills, I mean. So let's go ahead and do this. Copy and insert, page break. Paste. Alright, now let's see what abilities that this guy will have. Let me see. So the only thing they have is call help. Summons another Chicky Dada. I think I already have a call help. Let me see. Let me go to Chicky. Here we go. There we go. Call help, 20 SP. So for him, it is 3, 5, and 7. Everything else is just nah. So call help. Call help. C. There we go. Nope. Nope, we don't. No copyright. We're not copywriting. Paste. There we go. There was another Chicky Dada. I'm pretty sure that's what he's called. Yeah, it is Chicky Dada. Okay, just had to make sure. Just had to make sure about that. Alright, so we copy, so none for 2. None for 4. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. We can do this. There we go. None for 4. We can get. There we go. None for 4. And then. Yeah, we just need to copy over. Call for help. For this. And this. There we go. Now, as for the weapons, give me 1 second. The weapons and items. So they drop a smoke screen commonly, along with a confusion leaf, because I am very confused as to why this thing has a mustache. And I think that's what I'm going to put for the mimic notes. Just why does this thing have a mustache? There we go, and the confusion leaf accessory. There we go. Confusion leaf accessory. There we go. Let's go ahead and move this over like that. Maybe kind of move this whole thing to the center there. There we go. And then copy, copy, copy. Come on. Paste. There we go. We got ads coming up in just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and write this note. Alright. Of all the strange creatures I have encountered so far, none confuse me like this one. Why does this flying egg have a mustache? I think I spelled it right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I spelled it right. Woo. Okay. Wait. Can birds naturally grow one? What are the rules? No. One. You know what? I think I'll just leave it off with that. You know, of all the creatures I've encountered thus far, this one none confuse me like this one. How does this have a mustache? This bird has a freaking mustache on it. Alright. Alright, so guys, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break, get yourself a snack and a nice little drink, and we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back with more of regeneration creation. And next up, we've got the ruby cutter. Alright. This is a crustacean. Here we go. Ruby cutter. Let me see. Heading 3, there we go. The ruby cutter is a giant crab with a human face. It is said that even cats avoid the dead bodies or ruby cutters due to its ugly appearance, foul smell, and rotten taste. Although their shells are made for exceedingly strong alchemy material, they are avoided by most adventurers because of the foul smell. No regrets? No regrets. I regret nothing, Titan. I regret nothing with this system because I have made something truly special. 2 years in the making, I've been working on this system. Oh, regrets? I thought you said regrets. Well, I have no regrets either. I have absolutely no regrets either. Oh, hang on. Maybe I should move this over a bit. Maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know why that was so far away. Alright. Anyway, let's go ahead and get... There we go. We're going to copy and paste this. Copy. Paste. No cheeky. No cheeky. Get away. Okay. Alright, so what is this enemy? This is a crustacean. Level 4 large. Okay. Let's see. Crustacean. Level 4 large. Armored. The armored type, which means that any enemy that is armored would take half damage from attacks. 300 GP and 35 experience. 300 GP, 35 experience. As for HP, it is 574 and 250 armor. See, it's 574. Okay. 574, 75 SP, and then armor is 250. His stats are 840, 520. Let's see, 840, 520. I think he's the water element. Yeah, he is a water element. Crabs don't. I mean, they can move fast, but I think I'm comfortable keeping him at a 5 speed. And then as for his feature is going to be sharp claws. And what this feature is going to do is ignores. Ignores when using basic attacks or skills. There we go. He ignores physical attacks. His sharp claws can ignore the armor that your party is wearing. Ching. You just pierce right through that. There we go. Just making sure everything's right. All right. Do we have the ruby cutter as the PNG? Let's find out. QRRR. Let's see. Ruby cutter is the PNG. JPEG. Ah, beans. Okay. Past Claude, you have failed me. Why must you put everything in JPEG instead of PNG? I know you can do this. I've seen you do this, Claude. Past me. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the transparency. There we go. Just, you know what? I don't know why I don't just do this. There we go, just kind of There you go. There we go. Just kind of let's get all that. Get rid of the corners. All right, there we go. RubyCutter.png. Yes, I don't want to have to do this again for the future. Or the converting. There we go. All right, RubyCutter. Ruby. So that's the PNG. We want to get rid of that. Alright, look how ugly. How is that a human face? How, I mean, it kind of has a face. I mean, he's got eyes underneath there. He's got a nose. He's got a jaw. Okay, yeah. He sort of has a face. Not a whole lot, but he sort of has a face. Alright, let's go ahead and move him over. There we go. Yeah, move that right there. There we go. Move that right there. Let me see. Yeah, that looks good. Again, look how ugly this guy looks. Ugh. Alright. Next would be the skills. Da da da. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna copy. I don't know. It really doesn't matter, but I'll just copy these. It has a lot of none tabs, so that way I can just do that. Alright, for his skills, he has double slash. All he has is double slash on 2, 4, and 7. So I think I already have double slash. Do that over to the center. Let's see. No, I don't have double slash. Okay, so this is new ability. Alright, here we go. What is it? 2, 4, 2, 4, and 7. Okay. Double slash. It uses 20 SP. And it's a single target physical attack. I can't even spell physical. Physical attack that deals 2d10 times physical attack. Alright. 2d10. I mean, that's going to be doing some damage if it... it's going to be doing a lot of damage if it gets that. If it gets that. Alright. So, 2, 4, and 7. Copy. There you go. 4 and 7. Now I just need to copy this. There we go. And then just kind of get rid of charge here. Come on. There we go. And then as for his item drops, let's see. Tidal wave, heavy armor, iron shell. Makes sense. Okay. Let's see, tidal wave. There we go. The heavy armor, iron shell. I think iron shell is a rare item. Rare item drop. Well, I mean, rare item drop, but just like a rare item in general. So that's pretty cool. And then rough shell is the common drop, or the common equipment drop. There we go. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and copy that. Nope. Nah, I don't want to do it that way. And now we need a descriptor for this guy. I would say... I almost knocked off my phone. Ugh, okay. So apparently this guy has a rotten smell. And rotten taste. Ugh. Yeah, just... I would not want to eat that crab. Alright. Yeah. This is one of the... This is what... Maybe that... that can pierce through defenses. That can pierce through defenses. There we go. Pierce through defenses. Do-do-do. So is even durable enough to withstand. Oh, let me see. Withstand even strongest of attacks. There you go. Let me see. What else can we put? What else? The strongest of attacks. Ah. Strongest of attacks. He's got 5 movement. I'm trying to think of what else he would put here. My best advice for handling this enemy is to be prepared. This is called the buffing spells. Or if you do not have access to them, then you can try hitting it from far. It's movement speed. You know, I'm gonna make this a 4. It can hit hard, but it cannot go very fast. Okay. Movement speed. This weakness. Alright, there we go. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and on to the next enemy. Next one is the Fat Lancer. Another one of the enemies that you guys have chosen. Wait a minute. Did you guys choose the Fat Lancer? No, I don't think you did. I think this was on the polls. A couple of you have voted for this, and this is a pretty interesting enemy as well. Oh, let me just go ahead and do that. Fat Lancers are very similar to the crab, but I want them to have like a different ability. So let's go ahead and do this. Get rid of that. So the Fat Lancers are demons, level 4 large. Let's see. Demon, level 4 large, armored. So 350 and 35. 350, 35. Next, 607, 250, and 60. 607. Is it 250? Yeah, and then 60. 60. His stats are 840, 430. Let's see, what was it? 430. Okay. 4. Oh no, not 50, not 54. 430. Does he have? I don't think he has an element. No, he has no element. So no element. None. I'm gonna make his movement speed a 3 because of all the armor that he has. But then he can charge as well. He has a pretty slow movement speed. So as for his feature, let's see. What can I give this guy? You know, I'm gonna give him the Keen Eye feature, which is another augment. Let me actually check to see what Keen Eye does. We'll just give him the augment feature, which makes sense because the augment is Keen Eye that he drops. Keen Eye. No, it's not. It's not this one. Where is it? Is it in the system admin manual? Maybe. Let me double check. Let's see. What's it called? Keen Eye. There we go. Reduces alchemy cost by. Okay, maybe not Keen Eye because that's an alchemy type of augment. So, oh, never mind about that. So, if not Keen Eye, so he has a giant drill, which I'll show here in just 1 second. Let me go ahead and insert it. Does the Fat Lancer have the? Let's see. Yes, here we go. PNG? Nope, JPEG. Damn it. Hindsight 2020. Let's see. Fat Lancer. The fattest of Lancers. See. There we go. Get rid of all this border. Gotta get rid of all this crap. There you go. Gotta get rid of all this fluff. Alright, gotta get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, so he has a drill and. Okay, so I'm looking at this image right now as I'm clearing out the gunk around it. So he has both a drill and a mace. So we could probably do something with that. Like maybe an extra. He can make a bonus attack. Like he can do a basic attack right after activating the skill. Actually, that might be interesting. Since he has 2 weapons, he might as well get a chance to use a basic attack. So let's go ahead and image. That one is the JPEG. Let's delete that, and then Fat Lancer. There we go. Position fixed. Go ahead and do that. There we go. Then we'll move this over this way. Alright, let's go ahead and move that up. There we go. Okay, so his feature will be... Armored Assault. No. Wait, he is wearing armor, but... He's got... Yeah, he's got a mace and he's got a drill. So what feature should we give this guy? I want them to be like... What are we gonna call this? I wonder. I don't know what to call this ability. I mean, we gotta call it something. I think what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna go ahead and call this double. No, just be generic. Say double strike. And this feature make uses a skill, it can immediately soon after make a basic attack. Make a basic attack against that same creature, that same target. There we go. So that way, when he activates one of his skills, he can also go ahead and use, like, I imagine if he uses a charge, he charges with the drill and then slams with the mace. So yeah, that actually sounds pretty cool. So let's go ahead and do that. Break. Alright, so now for his skills, what does he have? He has Drill Strike, which I think, yeah, that's the only one he has. Drill Strike is a new one, so 3, 4, and 8 is Drill Strike. Here we go. Alright, here we go. Drill Strike. It requires 30 SP. 30 SP. Let's go ahead and buff that to 20 SP, so that way he has at least 3 uses of it. And then, so the ability is... Let's see. There we go. Do that. Paste. Hope I'm gonna have to do that. Takes 3. Let's see. Every enemy within 3 cells. Every enemy within 1 cell of the target takes 3d8 times physical attack. Adds an additional 2d8 damage to players who are wearing heavy armor. So this kind of punishes like the heavy armor wielders, like say the Edge Punisher or the I'm always forgetting what they're called, Lord Partisans. So that way, there we go. So what is that? 3. Yeah, this one I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and do these. Okay, stretch out just a little bit more. There we go. So it is 2. No, it's 3, 4, and 8. Okay, so I need to change that. Base 3, 4, and 8. I also need to get rid of 7. Paste. And 2. There we go. There we go. Let's go ahead and move this over. Where is it? There we go. We're going to move that over there. For his drops, he ends up dropping the Keen Eye Augment, which is good for alchemy, like getting rid of the cost of, not getting rid of the cost, but lowering the cost of alchemy. So that is a rare augment. Alright, so none. And also, he has 1 giant eye. I figured that was just funny enough. We copy beans. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. Lance Toulon. Let's see. This enemy can mostly be seen guarding the tunnels of the dungeon. Guarding the tunnels of a dungeon. Some theorize that these enemies used to be soldiers from a long forgotten war who was twisted by dark magic. By dark magic and forced to fight for eternity. There we go. Let's see. Who were forced to fight. There we go. There we go. We've got that. Alright, next enemy. What do we got? Lancer Marine. Okay. Lancer Marine. Oh, no, I wasn't trying to. There we go. The Lancer Marine is the next enemy we have here. Bloop, 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 bloop. I got a notification. What do I get a notification for? Oh no, that was just telling me that the city is opening up. Okay. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me just change this. Emits. There we go. Now for the actual things. Let's go ahead and go back to the spearfish because that's kind of like a upgraded spearfish. Oh no, I just want this. It is a sea monster after all. Lancer Marine. That is, yeah, still level 4. It is small. Bloop, 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 bloop. Alright, so it's a sea monster, level 4, small. Let's see, it gives out 320 GP. 320 GP. Its HP and SP are 560, flight 40. Or no, not 40, 150. Let's see. 560. SP is 135. 135. Then I put the armor. I put armor right underneath the HP. Alright. Come on. There we go. Lights. Lights. Flying. Flying. There we go. So, flight is 150. Not too bad. Its stats are 825, 425. 825. 425. Yeah, it's out water. Let's see. I'm gonna give it a little bit more extra movement because it is a flying fish. It is a very flying fish with a feature, or add a feature to this. Feature. There we go. Let's see. The drone. This cave dwelling sea monster is known to ambush adventurers with many sharp pikes. Let's see. Take advantage of its confusion. Okay, so people mind toxin is its. You know, I think I just might make people mind toxin its innate ability or feature, I should say, and just have it be if it is damaged by a physical attack, then the target must make a. I'm going to have to change this later, but I think that's kind of what I'm going to do. Let's see. Feature. Let's see. People mind toxin. When this enemy takes damage from a physical attack. From a physical attack, The attacker must make. I would say for right now, let's see, inflicts confusion. There we go. Do that. Let's get rid of that. It won't do any damage, but it will inflict confusion. Let's see. Oh, come on. Confusion. The target must make a basic attack or skill for each turn. I think what I'm going to do. Let's see. I'm going to be adding a feature later that allows players to potentially resist effects. Let's see. Resist. Let's just say, so this was a skill for 2 and 6. 2 and 6, so why don't we go ahead and beat that in the middle and say the resist is 5. Resist 5. So that means pretty much any die results, let's see, any die result of a 5 or higher means you resist it, but anything lower means you get inflicted with confusion. So, I'm gonna have to make a note of that for the future. Okay, so confusion, Now let's go ahead and add the image. Is the Lancer a PNG or a JPEG? Let's see, Lancer Marine. It's a PNG this time. Oh, goody. Oh, I have 2 PNGs of it for some reason. Alright. I'll do the Marine one. There we go. Nahaha. Let's see, let's scale it down. Fix position. And we're just going to move it over here. There we go. See? Looks nice. Looks good. Looks dandy. And then as a counteract to him losing this as an actual skill, he will end up having an additional charge that he can do. Paste. Don't I have charge already? I guess I do. There we go. Let's go ahead and do that. So, his charge normally is 4, 7, and 8. So why don't we have 3, 4, 7, and 8? 3, 4, 7, and 8. I'm gonna move that right there. And then, beans. Give me 1 second. Alright, there we go. Alright, let me just copy and paste. Paste. There we go. And then just kind of move that right there. There we go. Mimics notes. Melee. Focused adventures. Good to be careful of this enemy. It uses a very potent toxin that will cause you to confused. I'm confused. This creature This creature uses toxin to disorient I don't know how to. I think that's how it's said. Yeah. To disorient its enemies enough to distract it. There we go. There we go. Alright. And now we just need the items that it drops for this. So this will be just the tidal wave. All drops is a rare tidal wave. Nothing too crazy. There we go. Then none. Alright, I think we got time for one more enemy today. I mean, hey, we're getting through a lot of the level 4s, which is great. Bog Juggler. The Bog Juggler was another popular one that you guys chose. So let me go ahead and get that. Do this. This is a Bog Juggler. Oh no, not. That's it. There we go. We'll just go ahead and copy, perhaps one of these. Yeah, just copy the Holy Eater. Then do that. Paste. I might have to downside mode. Can I? Nope. I might have to actually get rid of this in order to make room for the stats. Alright, so this is fire. This is a fire element. Let's make its movement speed a 5. Ooh, he is a supernatural sword. So, supernatural. Level 4, he is small. He's a small. Actually, did I change his size? Yeah. He is a normal type. Money is 340. 340. HP is 701. SP 140. 701. SP 140. There we go. And then as for his stats, it is 825, 110. Okay. 825. 1. And then 10. There we go. Alright, he's not going to have a feature. Yes, he's got a unique skill that he could use. So the question is this going to be a PNG? Bog Juggler. No, it's a JPEG. Ah, beans. Okay. Beans. Okay. Bog Juggler. Ooh, do 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 do. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. There we go. Good. Export that as the PNG. There we go. There we go. That is fine. That is dandy. Alright, now let's go ahead and put this into the document. So this is the PNG. I need to get rid of the other one. There we go. Vok Juggler. Doesn't he look menacing? Doesn't he just look like he's ready to fight? Da 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 ba da 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 dum ba da bum bum. I'm gonna go ahead and put him right there. Maybe move him a little this way. There we go. Nice. And then we'll insert the page break. Let's go ahead and get these copied. Copy, copy, copy. I copy. Alright, move this towards the center. So what's he got? He's got Flame Mark and Flame Dance. So let's go ahead and get Flame Dance out of the way because we do have that. And so 2, let's see, 2, 5, 2 and 5. Okay. Let's see. Flame Dance. Here we go. Alright, let's scroll all the way down to Vaka Juggler. Oh, nope, not without formatting. Beans. There you go. Flame Dance. There we go. So that also costs 10 SP. Okay, not too bad. Let's see. So that is just 4, no, 2 and 5. 2 and 5. And now for the Flame Mark. Excuse me. Flame Mark is 25 SP. And on the 4 mark, did I put Flame? Is it Flame Mark? No, Fire Dance and Flame Mark. Fire Dance. Fire Dance. Flame Mark. Da 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 da. Let's see. Single target. Target takes 40% more damage for 3 turns. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Paste that. Oh, nope. Maybe I should do it like this. There we go. Single target. Let me just reword that a bit. Single targets. Resist. There you go. Nah. I think it don't. Like, I think we'll make it down. Okay. There we go. So now Flame Dance. Ah, beans. I chose the wrong one. Flame Mark is supposed to be. Yeah. Alright. Formatting. Let's go and get that. Actually, I did Fire Dance as that. There we go. Okay, now Flame Mark is also on 7. Okay. There we go. Piece of that form. I meant to do with formatting. There we go. And then none for number 8. 8 or 3 have nothing. There we go. Alright, now for the items. What are we going to use these at? So it's Firestorm and Spin Piney. Alright. Firestorm. And Dual Blade. Spin Piney. There we go. Mimic's Notes. These guys. These enemies are very similar to the Bozo. Yeah, I think it was Bazel. Okay. Alright, these guys. The ability to mark adventures in person for short time, having them take more elemental damage. There we go. And let's see here. And I think that's all we're going to go ahead and do for today. Honestly, we got through so much. We've got through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got through 7 enemies. And how many enemies we got here? Let's go ahead and count before the day is done. Let's go ahead and to the table of contents, update it. There we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So we got 32 out of, I think there's 70 enemies total. So we're almost halfway done with this document. And honestly, it's shaping up to be pretty good. We're adding new features to the enemies. We're making sure that they're like up to date, even adding some new commentary on these guys. Excuse me, and some new commentary on these guys. But yes, honestly, it's fun working on this system, and I do hope that once it is complete, that you guys can get the most, get the most out of this, because honestly, I enjoy making this game, and I've heard some great things from you guys, you know, who have been playing it. And so if you do have any questions, leave it in the comment section below this VOD. You know, just let me know. I appreciate any sort of feedback that comes along. But this is where we're going to go ahead and end it for tonight. Before we do, if you haven't already, go hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Or if you're on the Twitch side of things, you can go ahead and hit that follow button. You can also head to our Discord, which I'll provide here in just 1 second. Discord. There you go. You'll be notified as to when we go live. You get participate in polls, such as Free Stream Friday, where you get to help choose which game we play for that day. I'm also a .hack YouTuber. I do .hack topics for .hack people, and yes, we do variety streams. But alright, friends, this is in fact where we're going to end it for tonight. I hope all of you stay classy.